justice for Zenitsu. Zenitsu's arc starts as being a parody of the Shonen Jump pervert. Brock from Pokemon, Lupin III, Roshi, Sanji, Mineta. There's so many characters who are defined by being way too horny and by not respecting consent. And Zenitsu is this brilliant example of what everyone else thinks of them, because we get to see that character from everyone else's perspective and realize that they're just sad. They're pathetic. No one wants to be around them. Zenitsu has no friends. He has no skills. He has nobody who loves him, and he's so incredibly insecure about himself that he needs female validation. But that joke of haha, isn't the Shonen Jump pervert sad, is where Zenitsu's arc ends. Which is especially sad because I remember being Zenitsu. I was an incredibly horny, incredibly girl crazy, and frankly, disrespectful 16-year-old. I remember asking a girl on a date who specifically said no because she felt like I wouldn't respect her standards. That was 14 years ago. I'm 30 now. 16 years old was literally half a lifetime ago. I've learned and changed and evolved. I've had the character arc that Zenitsu should have had, that he deserved. I know how interesting that character can be, and I know how much of an arc that character can have. But no, the writers don't want to give him that arc. And the show has so many great opportunities to give him that arc. I think people keep forgetting, Zenitsu was sold into slavery. That's how he became a demon slayer, is that he was sold to his teacher. And if he doesn't do everything his teacher says, if he doesn't become a demon slayer, he will die. There's a reason he's so scared to do anything demon slayer-y, especially in the first arc. He is not okay. But apparently the writers keep forgetting that, because in the Entertainment District arc, wow, that's hard to say, Entertainment District arc, Zenitsu has to try to convince somebody to buy him as a courtesan. He feels Tengen selling him into slavery, and his biggest trauma is coming back. And no, he is not okay. But he's angry at Tengen, not because Tengen is, being objectively awful to Zenitsu, but because he just resents Tengen for being flashier than him and for having more success with the women than him. Which is, an objectively funny joke, but this character deserves to be more than a joke. If you want to dive more into his insecurity and about how he just feels so bad about himself, think back to the Spider Mountain arc, because there's this great moment where he says that he has no skills. He's not good at anything, which is just patently false. He is one of the best shamisen players in the world. Not only does he have a good enough ear to play by ear, like he can hear a song and play it once, but somebody mentions that he's so good at playing by ear that he can pick up an entire instrument after only hearing it once. Do you have any idea how hard that is? I spent a lot of my adult life teaching people how to play by ear and how to improvise, and I was known for a long time at being the piano guy. I was so good that I had real life bard class features. But there was one day that somebody put a violin in my hands and said, play it. And that day, when I took 10 minutes to figure out how the violin works and then played whatever I wanted, is still, to this day, the biggest brag of my life. Zenitsu can do the biggest brag of my life casually. Easily. He doesn't even think that's a skill. He doesn't even realize that he's good at the shamisen, because he's so insecure about himself that anything he's good at, he just says that doesn't count. That's why he needs female validation so bad. Like I said, this is an amazing character to dive into and understand. And while we're on the Spider Mountain arc, let him meet the Spider Mommy. I'm begging you. This is an amazing opportunity for him to learn that just because a girl is thick and hot doesn't mean that he should thirst after her. This is an amazing opportunity for him to learn that thirst is not always safe, and maybe giving him trauma around thirst will make him reconsider and be willing to grow. Okay, so he doesn't get that during the Spider Mountain arc, but immediately after the Spider Mountain arc, he lives in a hospital where there are 5 women who attend him, And outside of Tanjiro and Inosuke, those are the only people he sees. He has to, for once in his life, get familiar with being around women. And just be okay with the fact that they are just everywhere. And then the first time they leave the hospital for a mission, the girls give them a parting wish, a parting farewell. They hope that Tanjiro finds safety, but they hope that Zenitsu learns to respect women. And then he just doesn't follow through on that. During the Entertainment District arc, he gets to become a courtesan because somebody values him for his skills. Not for the skills he could have, like when he got bought to become a demon slayer, but for the skills he already has. Somebody values him because he's already so freaking good at the shamisen. That would have been an amazing opportunity for him to grow out of his insecurity by realizing that somebody values him as he is without needing to change. Or maybe while he was going through his arc of wanting to become the greatest Oiran in all of the Entertainment District, that would have been an amazing opportunity for him to learn to embrace his own femininity and realize that by becoming female, he can learn to identify with women and learn to understand women and stop placing them on pedestals and stop objectifying them and start thinking of them as people. Or maybe while he's living around all these women, he could realize these are just my coworkers. These are just people. Sure, they're hot people, but they're just people. And he can have this amazing arc from that. But no! Enmu's happy dream on the Mugen train is an amazing opportunity to literally dive into a character's psyche. But we didn't get that with Zenitsu. All we got was what we already knew, that he likes chasing after Nezuko. Okay, that's boring. I mean, sure, it's a funny joke for about 5 seconds. Come on! That was a perfect opportunity. You could have shown him not needing to be a demon slayer anymore. At that point in his arc, that's really all he wants. Just let him go free and experience a world where he can go do whatever he wants. Or if Tanjiro's happy dream is this alternate universe where his family never died, give Zenitsu a happy dream of an alternate universe where he never got sold into slavery in the first place. Or if you really want to just lean into the joke about him being a lecherous sex pest, give him a happy dream about having a harem of women. And then ask the question, what does he do when he gets everything he thinks he wants? And if you want to dive past that and go into what he really actually wants, give him a happy dream of being loved and valued and appreciated just the way he is. Really, that's all Zenitsu wants. I have empathy for Zenitsu, and so I want people to have empathy for me. I want people to have mercy on 16-year-old, hormonal, immature me who didn't understand how anything worked. And so I give empathy to immature, hormonal Zenitsu who doesn't understand how people work. Now, I'm not saying this character is a good person. I'm saying this should have been the most interesting character in the show. There's so much about this character that you can build on and you can dive into and that you can bring out a great arc. And the writers just don't care. They only use him as a punchline after, like, episode 1. And now I want a whole separate anime diving into the sex pest character. Learning why he's insecure. Learning why he feels like he needs female validation. Learning why he needs female validation and not male validation. Getting into who he is and why he is the way that he is. And then letting him grow into something more. Letting him find value for himself. Learning to love himself. Learning to be vulnerable to the people around him. And learning to respect women. I don't know whether that would be a slice of life anime or a shonen anime where maybe the more respectful he becomes, the stronger he becomes. And so the only way he can defeat the monster is to learn to respect women. Honestly, that could be a really funny parody while also being an achingly sincere character study. And I think however you approach it, it could really move the entire genre forward. If it's approached with empathy and compassion. even for the Shonen Jump pervert. Follow me on YouTube and Blue Sky at Movies and Heists for more movie love. You can get these videos a week early and help fund my movie at patreon.com/moviesandheists. Special thanks to these patrons for helping to fund my heist movie.